Arm the laser.
Arming the laser! Begin laser ignition!
Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. They tell you what they know. Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. The podcast that you know. Deuce and Mo.
Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. They tell you what they know.
Do it for Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. Hey. Do it for Deuce and Mo. When it comes to the Kings, it's my favorite show. Do it for Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. Hey. Do it for Deuce and Mo. When it comes to the Kings. Big hopes and dreams as we cover our kings. Never cover the kingdom, but we loving our kings. And we covered your prayers as we doing our thing. Big Deuce with the par, Lil Mo on the screen. Solo or together, still do it for team. Never switch up for $1 or revenue stream. So we always got each other, balance out the beam. Deuce and Mo, and that's the end of the theme song. Do it for Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. Hey. Do it for Deuce and Mo. When it comes to the Kings, that's my favorite show. Do it for Deuce and Mo.
We are live! Woo! This is the Kings of 13-9. Woo! How are we doing tonight, baby? Woo!
Oh my God.
Oh. Welcome aboard Night Chats. I feel like my eyes are kind of adjusting to this. We may have to leave this jacket on all night, baby. How are we doing, everybody?
Was that a show?
Oh.
Was that a show? I think we need more help. Oh my God. Oh, I hate myself.
You know that the Kings are playing well. You got to bring out a little new flavor every once in a while, right? And this might be my new gimmick. Maybe different things I wear.
That you wear? Or how about that are just like purple? Oh,
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. God.
How's it look, everybody?
It looks amazing.
How does this jacket look? Why not light the beam, says Nick. Oh, it buttons up too. Oh, that's what I should have gone shirtless with like the belly kind of hanging out like this.
No, you know, it's not my favorite gimmick, but like, because I wish it was more purple. But
Morgan, I looked at it on Amazon and it was an all purple setting, but this is the best I could do. Okay, you can't hate on this.
It's gonna work. It's gonna work. It's.
Oh man, it feels good to be light. It feels dark in here. Is it because it's light?
I turned it up.
All right. How are we doing, guys? How are we feeling? The Kings have won 3 in a row. What's wrong, Mo?
Nothing.
Morgan, okay, it's just a little background because I could tell it's in Morgan's head right now.
My chest hurts because I just like am really disappointed in myself.
All right, so we had an original link that's been posted for 2 days now for this night chat. And usually, I'm the one's kind of hitting some buttons here. And because this whole jacket thing I was going to do, I was like, hey, Morgan, can you just like hit this button, do this, and then I'll come in. And so I hear the music playing and I see this red indicator over here that's usually on off. And I went, she did not hit the right button. And I come in here, she ended the stream. I said, hit that button. She ended the stream. It was just one of those frustrating situations. She never makes mistakes on this stuff. It was an easy turnover. We move on.
Yeah, no, I know. It weighed heavy on my chest because I just, so many people are already chatting in that stream.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I'm so sorry, everyone. So thanks for coming over to the other league.
I mean, I'm not going to even mention the fact that you faded down the music like you were in a rush to fade down. I was like,
I didn't have the headphones on because I was like
I
was trying to like get you in here, and then I was already feeling really shitty about everything that I had screwed up, and I just
we have really high standards, and when things are screwed up, I just.
So now, just to be clear, your mistake is taking away from my jacket.
No,
So
your jacket.
Let's talk about the jacket for a second,
So
Morgan.
the jacket of a couple of things. Was really excited when you showed me the photo, it being purple, and I was like, whoa, it's gonna be a purple jacket, like fluffy, weird purple jacket. And then, if you continue to push buttons, you could show the people what colors really. Yeah, don't.
Why would I do that?
It becomes every color that you can ever imagine. So yeah, this is very close to the beam colors, and I appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate you guys being with us on a Sunday night. How about that? The Kings on a second night of a back-to-back. All of a sudden, the Sacramento Kings are 13-9, Morgan. All of a sudden, they've won 10 of 13. All of a sudden, they're fourth in offensive rating. But whoa. Let's take a moment and acknowledge this. The Kings are 16th in defensive rating.
Turn the fucking Jets on! Turn the fucking Jets on!
How are you feeling?
Pretty big leap. Pretty big leap.
A pretty big jump, huh?
Yeah.
And those numbers can fluctuate, of course, but it's what we talked about last night. It's going in the right direction.
Yeah.
I don't even know if Twitter Spaces are working properly, by the way. So people let me know if you guys are on Twitter Spaces. But anyway, let's get it started. Let's have some fun. Deuce and Mo. I can't do it like that, right? I got to give some love to the people watching us live.
That's what you usually do.
We've got 340 plus people here. The biggest thing you could do, hit the thumbs up button. That should be well over 150 right now. All it does is help our channel grow. It doesn't make me or Morgan feel better. It just helps our channel grow. We're trying to get to 10,000 subs. Let's get the subs coming in. That helps a great deal. Shout out to Arco's Ghost, Emilio, Pizza, Iowa, Jababoon, Mike, Justin, SM, Delivery Joe, and Everett. We got Todd and Homer, James. You can see Jay. We got Brett. We got Brooke. We got Jesse, James, Paulsius, Brian, Robbie, Nathan. Oh, Nick, why not? And Chris, LoyalSacKingsFan is in the building with Joe, Adrian. Let's get it started, Swag Man and Sammy Joe. Keaton is here, probably here to be upset about Keegan's minutes tonight.
Ooh,
I love know we were talking on Twitter. That's why I know that name.
it.
All right, let's have some fun. Do some Mo. Coming down in 3, 2, 1. Hit my music.
Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. They tell you what they know. Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. The podcast that you know.
Hey, welcome into the Deuce and Mo podcast. Recording this on a Sunday night after the Kings just wrapped up her final game at Gold One Center for a while. What's looming, a 6-game road trip, but we have plenty to talk about before we look ahead to that road trip, because the Kings, on the second night of a back-to-back in front of the home crowd, got it going again. It wasn't pretty, but they finished the job. They beat the Bulls 110-101. Sabonis with his first triple-double of his Kings career. The Kings have won 10 of 13. They are 13-9 on the season. I'm Deuce Mason. That's Morgan Reagan. How you doing, Mo?
I'm great now that we're talking some Kings basketball and that we're talking winning Kings basketball.
Man.
This is fun. And that's okay. Let's start with this because I know we have so many good things that we can talk about, but I think one of the best things is to go, hey, they won this one, but it wasn't the prettiest.
Yeah.
Another back-to-back. Was this their third of the season?
I don't know why you ask me this stuff.
Okay.
I don't know.
Pretty sure it was I don't know. Let's just say whatever. They've only had a couple back-to-backs. But in a couple of their other back-to-backs, Hawks, Warriors, heavy legs, fatigue, didn't shoot well. Things, they couldn't rally back, right? I mean, obviously that one against the Warriors came down to the wire, but still, there's just things where they weren't rallying back and pulling out the W. Tonight, it was like they still saw adversity. They still had their issues, with the sloppiness and other things that were going on the court, but they knew how to make up for that and still pull out the W. And this just feels so damn good, even winning like that.
Tonight, they had 19 turnovers. Fortunately for them, it only turned into 14 points. But I think one of the bigger stories in this one, again, is they're really stringing together some nice defensive performances. And it's encouraging. They're taking a Bulls team that was on the final game of a 6-game road trip. I'm sure they're eager to get home. And we've chronicled some of the Bulls' issues. Like, there are definitely issues with the squad. They're underachieving, especially when you compare to what they did at the start of last year. No Lonzo Ball. Levine's been in a funk. He got out of that funk tonight, but everyone else is not really shooting the ball too well. Levine finishes with 41 points in the game, but clearly it wasn't enough. It was a balanced attack from the Sacramento Kings, and it was a very weird start because the Kings' first 9 shots were from 3.
Whew.
11 of their first 12 shots were from 3. And the Bulls took an 18-11 lead. Mike Brown calls a timeout, talks things over, and you're getting a little bit concerned because it felt like a heavy reliance on the 3. And I don't mind the Kings taking a ton of threes. They end up taking 43 on the night, but they had 30 of those in the first half. They were getting some good looks. They weren't making them, but I felt like then all of a sudden they were relying on it instead of attacking.
Well, you talk about the reliance, but not only were they just relying on it, settling for it, it's tough after a back-to-back, right? To find that extra explosiveness, to get in the paint, or whether it's the mental fatigue, whether it's the physical fatigue. But I also feel like the Bulls were doing a great job at first, last game of their road trip, really trying to keep the Kings out of the paint as well. Got to give a little bit of credit to them at first as well. And I think it ended up being Keegan Murray that ended up making the first field goal of the game. And it was just like a quick little pump fake, and he drove in, had that easy 2, wherever that was. It was early on in the game, but it was great to see them when they started to get things going again. They were like, oh yeah, we got to get more paint touches. Oh yeah, these little sloppy passes that we're making, they're not going to fly the rest of this game.
No, and they got away with some tonight. You know, the Bulls didn't make them pay, but at the same time, the Kings defense stepped up tonight. And I thought that really started from the get-go. I thought Keegan had some nice defensive plays again tonight. Keegan's really starting to build on it. All of a sudden, you're seeing this rookie who's been in a funk, had that nice game yesterday in the Los Angeles against the Clippers, where he finally found some rhythm with a shot. Tonight has 11 points, but he made some plays defensively. One of my favorite plays of the night is when DeRozan, the Kings turned it over, DeRozan attacking, Keegan Murray with the block shot leads to a bucket on the other end. And it was such a tremendous defensive play by Keegan Murray that was super encouraging. But it started in the second quarter. The Kings forced 3 turnovers at the beginning of the second quarter and got it going. And again, who are we talking about? We're talking about Malik Monk. This guy has been so important for this team. One of their most important players. You know, you talk about second half back-to-back. Maybe the energy's not there. Okay, a little bit of a sluggish start. So you go to your bench guy, Malik Monk comes in. It's like, okay, I'm going to make things happen. And he made things happen right away. He was wreaking havoc out there.
He was. And it wasn't just with his scoring. Obviously, you saw what he was doing defensively, just being super active, super energetic. But then scoring was going well for him, but also finding the open man. He ended the game with 5 assists, but he had that one, I believe it was earlier on, I forget when it was, but it was, they were in transition and he sees De'Aaron flaring out on the left, and he has that wraparound pass, like around the defender, but it goes back to the 3-point line to De'Aaron for a 3-point shot. And it was just this sexy, necessary pass that actually worked out, and it was so dead on. And I just appreciate not only him executing basketball at a high level, but he's doing it at a fun level too.
I mean, you mentioned that one. That wasn't even my favorite one. And that was a really nice one. It was a no-look feed he had to Chimeze Metu.
Yep.
That was awesome. Here's how that sounded, Morgan, with G-Man on the call. You want that?
Kings have Monk from Fox. Drives in the paint. No look pass inside to Metu. And Chimeze gets the dunk. You won't find a better assist than the one we just witnessed right there from Malik Monk to Chimeze Metu.
That was pretty sweet.
It was.
But that's the energy he's provided. And the fact that you can go to your bench and consistently expect some sort of juice from Malik Monk It's been great. He had 20 points in this game, and he was very active for Sacramento. I'm looking at the other numbers too. You mentioned the 5 assists. He was credited with 2 steals. At one point, they said he had 4, but they adjusted that at halftime. He was great, and he, there was a couple of plays in the second half in that third quarter stint that weren't great. That was their worst quarter by far.
Yeah.
But they fought through it. And this is what I really enjoy about this team, that even when other guys are struggling, for example, De'Aaron Fox in a little bit of a funk. Okay. Are you going to still find a way to impact? You do. Kevin Huerter cannot make a 3 right now to save his life. Kevin Huerter was 1 of 11 from 3, 5 of 18 overall shooting. But he's still finding a way to make plays and impact the game. Will Z, our guy, sent us over a stat. His 3-point shooting slump is now 4 of 31 over the last 5 games. But over that 5-game stretch, that same 5-game stretch, he's shooting 66% on 2-point field goals.
Hell yeah.
So he's getting it going in the mid-range. He's like, okay, I'm not just going to live out there. I can make other things happen. Let me get it going inside a bit.
And not only is he making some of those field goals, he's also moving so much, you guys, that it's setting the tone on what they really want to create on the offensive end. Whether it's guys having to chase around a screen or a dribble handoff from Sabonis, even if Sabonis isn't getting to him in that 2-man game, it's still creating so many other guys to have to put their head on a swivel, be in help, and make sure that Kevin Huerter isn't going to be able to move throughout the paint. So is that skip pass open? And it's just his movement alone has become a threat on the court. And that's what I love to see from him as well.
I also just like seeing a team win in a variety of ways. I think there's some concern from people out there like, oh, does this team have to score like 120, 130 every night to win games? Well, the last couple of games against an undermanned Clippers team, they didn't have to. They held them under 100 points. Today, against a Bulls team that does have firepower, even though they're off to a 9-14 start now, they hold them to 101 points. And that's why you start looking at the overall numbers. And through this stretch where the Kings are 13-9 in the season, the numbers are jumping up. They're 4th in offensive rating in the NBA. And now after tonight, their defensive rating has jumped up to 16th in the NBA. You're seeing it come together. I was talking to Mike Brown before the game, and I asked him that about Sabonis, because I'm like, we talk so much about Sabonis' offensive capabilities and what he does. And another awesome game for him tonight. Like the guy was getting so much attention, wasn't panicked. He maybe wasn't scoring a ton, but he was impacting the game early with rebounding, dimes, all that.
Yeah.
But when I was asking Mike Brown, I'm like, what about him defensively? And I know the rebounds is his thing, but what has he brought to you guys defensively? And he told me Domantas Sabonis has been a beast for us defensively. He highlighted a few things. He talked about how he's the quarterback of their defense. And if you watch him, and I challenge all you guys, just take a 5 possession stretch of just watching Sabonis back and forth on both ends. Just watch how he communicates. He is the quarterback. He cited his constant communication. He said the other thing is, he is playing physical. He's like, some of these fouls, he didn't want to get into that too much, but he's like, I want him to keep playing this physical because he sets the tone with the physicality. And then he said, the guy's also been really good in pick and roll coverage after a slow start. So he's highlighting all these things about Sabonis, and it's so true. We talk so much about what he does offensively for this team, but he's doing it on both ends. Sabonis is playing like an all-star right now, and it's like, that shouldn't be a surprise. The guy's made 2 all-star teams. Give the guy some love.
I just love that everything that Mike Brown told you has literally been word for word what we've been saying about his game lately.
Well, I mean, look, Morgan, when you're the basketball mind.
And I don't want that. I don't want to hear that, especially in that jacket. Ew, you look so
I got to
douchey.
ask you, think about this just for a quick second.
Okay,
Before we get back in this. There's going to be someone, maybe a Kings fan, maybe some NBA fan watching us for the first time going, is this guy's gimmick?
Yeah. Like the Kings winning, this weird douchey dude puts on some light up jacket.
That's a cool gimmick, bro. It's like Bert Kreischer has no shirt on.
Yeah.
Like, is this?
I mean, if you want to take it off at some point, it's encouraged, but you don't have to. You can feel confident in any way possible. Okay.
I'm leaving it on for a bit.
All right. Well, then going
Okay.
back to Sabonis.
I do. That's where I'm going, Morgan.
Oh, I wanted to
That's
go.
where I'm going. Sabonis tonight took 4 shots. That's insane, right?
Yeah.
4 shots. He finished with 11 points, 17 rebounds, 10 assists in this game, 6 of 6 from the line, including a couple of big ones late. What jumped out to you about him and the defense? Too?
Yeah, well, going back to his defense, because that's what I kind of wanted to finish, was just him being an anchor in the middle and the way that he is communicating and how it's, I don't know. I think so many people do expect their big in today's NBA to be, hey, you got to be a rim protector. You got to be a shot blocker, but you really can be so much more. And it's not only on the offensive end and being able to extend the floor. Oh, which, by the way, this guy is knocking down some threes.
Whoa, what is happening? His last 11 games, Morgan, he is 10 of 16 from 3.
Okay, so Deuce, he's doing it obviously all of it except the rim protecting and the shot blocking, but this is what he's doing instead. He's being elite in his verticality. He's being elite in his physicality. He's being elite with his communication. All those things are so important, and he's doing it on such a high level, which is one of the main reasons why we're talking about the Kings defense tonight being 16th in the league right now.
I want to push back on one thing you said, because so many times we talk about protecting the rim and we just automatically think blocking of shots.
Contesting.
Right? He had an amazing contest
And
in
that's
this game.
what I mean by verticality.
On Levine. Levine's driving. This guy stayed vertical and forced Levine into a tough shot. Levine hit some tough shots tonight, but when he's driving, the Bulls are trying to make a run in the fourth quarter. He came up with a big defensive play. And I think sometimes that gets lost, and he's gotten this reputation of not being a good defensive player. I'm telling you, pay attention. This guy is playing at an elite level right now, and for him to still have an impact, despite the fact that he only shot it 4 times, was great. Yeah, I mean, even late in the game, there was a play he wanted the ball, got it. 3 guys crashed around him, and they were all over him, and he was just so patient with the ball. He's like jabbing the ball up in the air, and then he fell on his back. It was actually a tough fall.
Yeah.
He goes to the line, knocks down 2 free throws. He has a toughness about him. He has changed the personality of this team. If you look at how the Kings play, and we give credit to Brown for this motion offense, but the whole motion offense works because of that guy.
Can I ask you a question then? Because I'm curious about this, and I don't know, I could be wrong. Are national people talking? You know how people, especially national media, were talking about Tyrese Halliburton and the impact he was making with the Pacers, and he has been. Obviously, they've lost a couple now, whatever. But Tyrese is still playing at a very high level, and then everyone has to talk about the trade and then shit on the Kings.
Yeah.
But with Sabonis, I feel like his impact on the floor in doing it consistently hasn't really been talked about, and there hasn't been a light shined on it a lot, and they're winning. I don't know. It's just something I've noticed. And is it because it's a big in this league? What is it, something like that?
It's, for some, it's not sexy.
Okay.
I don't know.
I think that's what it is.
But for me, and I think for a lot of basketball fans, and then
Yes.
especially fans in Sacramento that love the passing, right? The skill level, you appreciate this guy and you see it. You understand why this is working and why the Kings have the identity that they do. Another game with 30 assists. And Sabonis is averaging like 6+ assists a game. The guy has been incredible with his passing, and it's everything. He's been the total package this year. And I got to be honest, I think the thing I'm most impressed with is the defense by him.
I'm with you.
I'm not surprised when he has a big rebounding night. I'm not surprised when he's dropping dimes or scoring. But when I saw their game plan for how they were going to defend the pick and roll, I was like, Sabonis is going to hedge that hard on the pick and roll and be able to recover. I was nervous about it. He has handled it perfectly. I think it's one of the better stories, especially for the Kings.
I agree. I think the fact that he's capable of hedging and moving his feet and laterally the way that he is fantastic. But then also we saw when they make those adjustments depending on the matchup and he's back in the drop coverage, he understands exactly where he needs to be. It's not like it's just.
But he's also getting guys in position,
That's
too.
what I'm saying. Yeah. He's just understanding so many things at a high level on the offensive end, on the defensive end, and again, hitting his threes right now, which has just been so fun to see, especially when those are left open.
So we gave Sabonis some much needed love. I thought Barnes is really good again tonight. 17 points for him. He had 6 rebounds on 6 of 10 shooting. He was 3 of 6 from downtown, which was really an encouraging sign because he is still trying to get out of that funk from three-point land. HB's been really solid for this team. And tonight, it was a really balanced attack, right? You only had one 20-point scorer, and that guy was not in your starting lineup. That was Malik Monk, who came off the bench with 20 points, and he did it in like 24 minutes. You know, Fox, 5 of 14, 2 of 7, 16 points, 7 assists, or 7 rebounds, 4 assists. He still doesn't look like he's totally right. It looked a little better at times today, and he's getting frustrated by things, and I don't blame him. He got another technical tonight. What's it going to take for him to get a call? Is this why he's getting technicals at this point? It's like, hey, I got to send a message? Because it's, as DeMarcus would say, it's getting ridiculous.
It's for De'Aaron right now, I think it's not only frustration with not getting a call, but you can tell he's probably a little frustrated with whatever's going on. I would say, he's frustrated with his game, but this game that he is playing in these last 5 games now just doesn't match up. It's like, no, it's what we saw in the beginning of the season wasn't a fluke. It's not like he's just playing bad now. He's playing completely different, and it looks different physically, and not physically to the point where it's like, it's obvious he's limping, he's grimacing, he's doing all these things. Physically to the point where we know what he's capable with his athleticism, his explosiveness, and you're just not seeing it on both ends of the floor right now. Even you think about a few of those games in the beginning of the season, his deflections, the way that he was in the passing lanes, and not to say that his defense went back to what it used to be.
No, I think his defense actually been one of the bright spots over the stretch.
Sure. It's been still like one of the better things, but still not even what it was. And I think that's because of
I disagree with that.
Okay.
I think
because of his physical capabilities have actually.
I think he's just less aggressive looking for his. I mean, he's had great defensive plays the last 3 games.
I'm not acting like he hasn't, but I'm just saying altogether on both ends of the floor for an entire basketball game, his physical body looks different. The way that he is running out there, the way that he is moving, the way that he is doing things.
That's fair. I still think he's having an impact is my point.
He's still having an impact in tonight's game, even with his 14 or 16 points. You know, he's still making an impact. It's just not at that all-star level that we were seeing before these last 5 games.
And with Kevin Huerter, we mentioned the fact that he had 12 points, 5 of 18 shooting, 1 of 11 from 3. Is this just a guy missing shots? I mean, he started so hot, but now this 5-game stretch, really since that Boston game, he has not been able to knock down a shot.
Yeah, I don't know what it is for him, because you still see him moving the same, right? Moving without the basketball the same, taking some of the same shots. I get it. Shots just sometimes are not going to fall, but they're falling inside the arc.
Yeah,
and so that's good.
I think that's the best part about it, is he's not letting that impact the rest of his game. He's finding ways to contribute. It's like, okay, it's not rolling from the outside. I'm still going to shoot it because I have the belief I can knock it down, but I'm also going to make sure I'm taking some mid-range looks and trying to attack a bit more. So that's another good thing. Keegan Murray tonight. I mentioned that block earlier. Here's how that sounded.
Monk tried to hook a pass, anticipated, and turned over. Here comes DeRozan. Run to the rim. Swatted away by Keegan Murray. Grabbed by the Kings. 3-on-2 push. Right wing feed. Mezzi Metu with a 2-hand flush. Lead back to 4 at 88-84.
I think Keegan is getting out of this funk. And he's starting to knock down shots. He had a really nice take tonight, right? He got the ball in the corner, attacked. He looked like he wanted to maybe dunk it, but he read it perfectly, went up and rolled it in. It was a great take. And tonight he plays just under 24 minutes. He had 11 points. He had 4 rebounds on 4 of 7. He hit 3 of 5 from downtown. What did you like about Keegan Murray's game tonight?
He's just looking smooth, confident. And when I mentioned the word smooth, I feel like that was one of the terms we used to define his game right in the beginning of the season, or preseason in summer league, right? Just NBA ready, smooth. And he's finding that again. He's not looking indecisive, and he doesn't look like a rookie, which is always great. And then you talk about some of those defensive plays and the impact that he makes in the paint and his verticality. That bell that is in the practice gym or like they try to have it there or might have fallen down.
No, it's still there.
It's still there. So that bell, they had it for a few things. And one of the things I remember Jay was talking about, it was for staying vertical at the rim. And I always remember being like, yeah, like that's of course what you want to do. You see the discipline of their verticality on every single, I'm talking Harrison Barnes, I'm talking Sabonis, and then Keegan Murray. And I think because maybe he's young, he cares, he listens, it's every single time you are not seeing his arms come down.
Chimezie Metu as well.
That's a great point.
I mean, that's where we go back to, would it be nice for the Kings to have some like elite shot blocker on this team? Yes, but they don't. So you can complain about it and you can make excuses, or you can find ways to encourage rim protection without blocking shots and playing the right way, rotating well. One of my favorite plays tonight was late in the game. DeRozan had the ball, and they threw a double team at him. And I'm telling you, in previous years, when you see them throw a double team at a player to get the ball out of his hands, you get a little worried because there's no communication that leads to an open three. The Kings rotated so well on the play. And to me, it was a sign that this team is really starting to vibe on the court, especially defensively. Mm-hmm. It ended up leading to Caruso taking a tough mid-range shot that he missed. That's what you want to do. What you were trying to accomplish on this play was get the ball out of DeRozan's hands, but you didn't want to give up an open three. You wanted to make someone else shoot the ball. They made Caruso shoot it, and it wasn't a clean look. He missed the shot. Those are the things that show me the discipline, the stuff that they're working on in practice. The reason they're ringing the bell is because you see the right things happening, and it takes time to build that throughout a season, especially with a new group. But this is what we wanted to see, is like, could Mike Brown take this Kings team that may not have household names defensively and make them a competitive defensive team? Get them to be average in the league. If you have a 16th rated defense throughout the year and a near top offense in the league, you are 100% making the playoffs.
Yep.
So I'm really encouraged by what I'm seeing on that end. And that's been such a bright spot.
There were times that throughout these years of talking about Kings basketball that, I always believed that there was a coach like Mike Brown out there that could, you can work with what you have. It depends on your management style, your philosophy, like how you are utilizing the pieces that you do have. And then I started going in the other direction, going, oh God, maybe in this league you do need a whole bunch of all-stars if you want to take a leap. Or maybe you do need a whole bunch of players that you can develop into these all-stars, whatever. What I'm seeing is exactly what I wish I'd kept my mind to from the beginning. And that was, if you have basketball-minded people that are running things, that understand the game at such a high, different level, not only the game, personalities, athletes, everyone that they're working with. Mike Brown and his coaching staff just know how to do everything right. And that's why you're seeing this much improvement in this little amount of time. I wasn't expecting this style of basketball 20 games in. I was hoping for it, but I wasn't expecting it. And it's so fun to watch. And I know all the guys, you can just tell they're having fun as well.
I put a poll question in the chat. Appreciate everyone watching us live right now on a Sunday night. Are the Kings a good team? Here are the options. Yes, this isn't a fluke. I think so. And then let's talk after the road trip. 74% of people said, yes, this is a good team. It's not a fluke. 16% said, I think so. And then 10% say, let's talk after the road trip. Oh. So Kings fans are obviously feeling pretty good. How about Malik Monk? After the game, he was on NBC Sports California, and he feels pretty confident about what he is seeing from this squad.
We legit, man. We legit. Because Mike going to push us so hard that we cannot be legit, man. So it's just It's a lot of stuff that go into it, man. We're a young team, and a lot of guys that need to get to the playoffs, man. A lot of us haven't been there yet, and we all want the same goal. So, yeah, we there, man.
Well, so I'm sorry. I got to play that one more time. Did you hear Malik Monk?
We legit, man. We legit. Because Mike going to push us so hard that we cannot be legit, man. So it's a lot of stuff that go into it, man. We're a young team, and a lot of guys that need to get to the playoffs, man. A lot of us haven't been there yet, and we all want the same goal. So, yeah, we there, man.
We're legit. Mike Brown's going to push us there.
You guys, it's so a player buy-in, players playing with joy. It's all just, it's such a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
It really is.
One thing I like to remind people of about Malik Monk.
What do you like to remind them?
This guy's 24 years old.
Sure is.
And he's getting better and better. Mike Brown was mentioning him as a 6th Man of the Year candidate. And it's like, yeah, I mean, we're quarter way through the season. He absolutely is. And it's just so cool for a guy that was a lottery pick, didn't really have a great run in Charlotte, had some personal issues to overcome. His final year was better. He goes to the Lakers last year and really kind of fit well there, but still wasn't able to play his game. And now this guy is coming off the bench, and it's magic. Like, the crowd pops for him. It reminds me a lot of when Bobby Jackson would come into the games in the early 2000s. It's like, yeah, we're going to our bench. There's no drop off because we got Monk coming in. It was just like when Bobby Jackson was coming into the games. It was instant energy. You knew that something was going to happen. It was going to be a play. It was going to be a strong drive to the basket. It was going to be a defensive play, a setup. What about tonight, that dunk he had?
Oh, with the double.
Pump?
Yes. Oh, my God. In transition, when he stayed up in the air, had the double pump to finish it with a nasty dunk. It just made me look at him like, wow, you are truly one of those players that knows the game at a high level, but also knows how to play the game at such a fun level. And I think that's so very important, you guys, because whenever we're talking about this, I know these guys get paid millions of dollars. This is a business. This is a job. These guys are playing basketball. We're talking basketball. You're watching basketball. We're all, as a community, enjoying basketball. It's supposed to be fun. And he shows that through his game that it is exactly just that.
Here's that play I was talking about.
This is definitely a tide-turning moment in this ballgame if Chicago scores. Monk knocks the ball away. It's grabbed by Davion Mitchell. Leads it back to Monk. He goes up and under, and he spikes it. Oh, my, what an athletic move that time by Malik Monk. That was eye-popping. That was jaw-dropping. Malik Monk getting a standing ovation from a number of Kings fans. After the breakaway, brought it down to his waist, then ripped it back up and thundered it home. Wow.
Wow to you, G-Man.
That was an interesting moment. It was 77-70 at that time. The Bulls could score and cut it to maybe 3. Monk with the steal, the jam. And that was a big-time moment.
Yeah. And just another swing play that was like, okay, no, sealed it. This is actually the real team. I even texted Deuce at one point when I was just feeling worried, and I was like, this could be their worst loss of the season.
Yeah, and what did I say to you? What was
like,
my response?
Pipe down or
nope.
Shut up.
No.
What'd you say?
Bite your tongue.
Oh, like along the same lines, right?
Bite your tongue.
Bite your tongue.
Now, it's going to take a while for people to adjust to this, because I think instantly when there's any moment in a Kings game of, the team's making a run, most fans, because of this stretch, this last 16 years, go, okay, here comes the avalanche.
Can I say where I went to, though? My brain went to back-to-back. Even though it was the end of the road trip for the Chicago Bulls, like, I haven't watched enough of the Bulls this season to be like, oh, I know exactly what they do when they face adversity. I know what kind of team they are. I know exactly what DeMar DeRozan can do late in a game. And obviously Zach LaVine was going off. But the Kings are showing team basketball for them is just on a whole nother level as well.
We're getting some reaction to the jacket I'm wearing tonight. And, I was just trying to spice some things up after a Kings win. We had the lightsabers. Then other people are starting to do lightsabers out of nowhere. The same ones we did. That was weird.
A little weird.
I mean, are they going to show up do you think some players would start wearing this jacket?
No,
Maybe show up after a game. Maybe after the game they put this on. Steve in the chat says, Steven says, roadkill plus LED lights equals Deuce's jacket. Okay.
Roadkill.
Okay.
What kind of animal would that be?
A polar bear?
Yes.
Did I run over a polar bear?
Yes.
Someone also mentioning they were making fun of the jacket too. Someone else saying it looks like I threw Christmas lights on the Domino snowman.
Well, I mean, you did do that one time to do the...
I did. Here's a question. Do I keep the jacket on the rest of the show?
You already know what I said.
You said take it off.
I encourage you to take it off.
I let the people decide because I am a man of the people.
That should be your next poll question. Should Deuce take off the jacket?
TC says Deuce's jacket. Just fire. Bobby says I like the jacket. Let's go. Let's go. If you're in the chat, the biggest thing you can do, hit the thumbs up button. Help us grow. We get to that thumbs up. It's right in front of you. If you're on your phone, you could see it. It's not a thumbs up in the chat. It's like you click the like. It's a thumbs up. It's next to share, save, all that. Hit the thumbs up. Get to like 400. All it does is help our channel grow. And make sure to subscribe. We're closing in on 9,000 subs. Our chase is on for 10,000. Let's keep going.
Literally because of you guys, this channel keeps growing because you do keep pushing that, because you do keep subscribing. So thank you so damn much.
Also, overwhelmingly, people are saying keep the jacket.
Wow.
I may just keep this for the season. I was going to return this
Wear
bad
it
boy.
every day we win.
That's my gimmick.
Okay.
Well, just wait till you see what I have in store.
Do you have another thing?
I have some stuff.
I told Deuce every single win, I'm like, we should have something new that's purple, like a purple light every single time. Come on. We can find cheap stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
This one wasn't that cheap, unfortunately.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Whoa. Is it in the podcast, bud?
I mean, it's a tax write-off, right?
I mean, I'm the one that has to go through it, so okay.
We'll talk to the people about it. Yeah. We'll figure it
Our
out.
Our CPA is going to be like, what is this?
What else did I want to get to tonight? I want to talk about Mike Brown. Who do you think he mentioned as one of the key guys tonight, if you were to guess? He gave a lot of love, but one of the key guys for him.
I'm going to say Okpala.
Such a random guess.
Well, I was just trying to be random.
Casey had some fun moments in this
game. Hey, he had
too.
A great offensive moment in the beginning of the game.
Oh, that spin?
Oh, my God.
Casey, you had that in your bag?
And he did a great job on DeMar DeRozan.
Hey, DeMar DeRozan tonight, who has had some really nice outings this year. He had 18 points on 6 of 18 shooting. He didn't take a three, which is not totally a surprise. Yeah. But 6 of 18, you'll take it. Here's who Mike Brown gave love to after the game.
Just a great win. And, obviously led by Domas. I mean, he's flirted with a triple-double on a few occasions this year. And so to finally see him get over the hump was it was fun. 17 boards. Whoa. He controlled the glass. He's been doing it all year for us. 10 assists, 11 points. It's just a fantastic night by Domas on both ends of the floor. He was huge. And, obviously Malik gave us a huge spark off the bench, especially when we got a little stagnant. So great team win. It was just a great way to grind out an ugly basketball and figure out how to get wins, mostly by getting stops, especially down the stretch when it really mattered.
Okay, two things. Yeah, I mean, totally makes sense that he would give him up to Domas Sabonis.
Morgan's just, Casey?
I just thought you were like, I thought you
thought it was a trick thing. You thought it was going to be something from left field. I get it.
And let's talk about Domas more, but one more thing. Will you take a sip of your wine while wearing that jacket to the camera? Because it's actually hilarious. Like, you just look hilarious.
Let's turn down the lights a little bit.
Okay.
Maybe we can get some people to screenshot this, tweet it out so we can retweet it,
Oh, wait, like that?
Yeah, let's do it.
Now, hold up your
Hold on.
wine.
All right, so you guys screenshot coming down in 3.
Get in the middle.
2,
Hold up your wine.
1.
Disgusting.
Enjoy it, baby. Enjoy it. So he mentioned Sabonis' defense there, and then someone in the chat was saying one of the best defensive plays, and I agree with this. Mr. NorCal says Murray had the defensive play of the game on DeRozan in the fourth with that block shot. They absolutely made some big defensive plays. And it's been so long since we could cite like many defensive plays besides like Davion Mitchell last year.
Yeah.
So that was really encouraging. Also, another note of significance tonight. We mentioned this at the top. This is the Kings' best start to a season at 13-9 since they started 15-7 in the 2004-2005 season. Mike Brown, how does that feel?
It's a testament to the guys in that locker room. I sound like a broken record, but they've worked hard. They're connected. They're trying to play for each other. And, when you get that with a talented group and 2 All-Stars and Fox and Domas and a lot of guys that can step up, including, 6-man of the year and Malik Monk, you can get some nice wins, and you can get them quick. So just a testament to the guys in the locker room. And also, I've said this before, but my staff's done they've done a phenomenal job. They're working their tails off, and they've done a great job connecting with the guys too.
So some love to everyone. And the Kings deserve a lot of love. We mentioned what they were able to do defensively tonight. They also had 10 steals in this game as a team, Morgan, including 2 from De'Aaron Fox. They got 3 from Malik Monk, 2 from Malik Monk and 3 from Davion Mitchell, who again made some big defensive plays for the team.
Dude, even Davion looks so much more confident on the offensive end. I feel more confident when he is taking an outside shot or when he does have, he's making the right decisions. He's not being a ball stopper. He's understanding, make a quick decision. And if he wasn't making that quick decision, if he didn't adjust that part of his game, he wouldn't be playing. It wouldn't matter if he's just achieving one thing on the defensive end. They want to see so much more. And that's why, too, even with KZ Okpala, you're seeing that, hey, longer leash. Don't make the wrong plays because it's still good. There's going to be times where if you screw up an entire possession, it could be that big swing play that really matters. I think there's that one time when he tried throwing it up to Chimezi Metu for the lob and just for the alley-oop, and it was just not the right decision.
No, and that the Kings had a lot of those tonight, and that was one of those plays you point to because you just had a good defensive spot, right?
That was it.
And you're pushing in transition. Make the right play. And you get caught up in it sometimes. And that's just a lesson, right? It's a learning opportunity for KZ in that situation. It's got to make sure that's pinpoint here.
Totally.
I know you're at home, but the home crowd's going to love it if you score. Just score after a turnover. They're going to go crazy.
Nuts.
So there was a couple of plays like that. But yeah, ultimately, KZ, good for him. Since that Boston game when he got that chance, he has been in the rotation. Trey Lyles has been back the last couple of games and has not played now. And then we haven't even mentioned the fact that tonight the Kings were without Terrence Davis. He was questionable with lower back soreness before the game. I was watching him on the floor before the game. He was working out, and then he sat down on the bench and kind of grimaced.
Oh. So
I think, his back is sore a little bit. The good news for him and the Kings and for De'Aaron Fox, maybe some of these guys that are nicked up, they are off until Wednesday. Early game. They're all back home now. Get ready to go across the country because they're not home until December 19th when they take on the Hornets.
Bye. See you never.
That's a long time.
It's a long time. But you know what? I'm really glad that they're starting this road trip with the Bucks.
Why? Why are you glad they're starting the road trip with the Bucks?
Why would you want that? I mean, sure, if it was the second game, maybe it would be even a little bit better of the road trip. But I'm glad that it's not the last. I'm glad that it's not when their legs are going to be tired and they're going to be a little bit more tired from adjusting to the hours. It's no, right away. You got to play the Bucks. Excited. First game of the road trip. Let's go.
The Bucks, man.
Let the crisp air hit you as you walk into the arena.
The Lakers just beat the Bucks.
There you go.
I mean, the Lakers could beat them, the Kings could beat them. No, it's just such a tough matchup. And I think that's kind of the next thing we should do, Morgan, is look ahead at the Kings road trip. Unless you have anything else to add from this game. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to add. Look, one thing I'd mentioned, the Kings weren't shooting 50% tonight. They shot 46%, 30% from 3. They had 19 turnovers. You don't want a 19 turnover game, especially self-inflicted things that they were doing tonight, as we just mentioned with KZ, and there's other plays to point to as well. Even Davion Mitchell on that inbound, when he had the inbound, it was almost a 5-second he threw it. It's like, what happened?
Yeah.
The good teams will really make you pay for those mistakes. I mean, you turn the ball over against the Bucks, Giannis is dunking on everybody.
My last thing with what I started with in the beginning of this podcast to right now is that I love the way that they are making their adjustments and responding and showing that they're improving in their back-to-backs, because back-to-backs, we've seen some losses. You're seeing a win tonight. You're not seeing that mental fatigue. You're not seeing that physical fatigue. Maybe in moments, but not for an entire game. They fought through it. They did a fantastic job and pulled out the win.
Well, I swear every turn people go, we're going to learn a lot about this team coming up. How are they going to react? Look, we said it before the season. The schedule looks hard. We said in the middle now. It's kind of hard. We look ahead to this road trip. It does look daunting. It does look hard. The reality is there's a lot of great teams in the NBA. Parity is at an all-time high. You look at the teams in the West. There are a few very, very awful teams in the NBA right now. So, yeah, it's going to be hard. But if you're good, you figure it out. This is a great test, and this road trip is going to be a test. It kicks off Wednesday at Milwaukee, then Friday at Cleveland, Sunday at New York, then they go Tuesday at Philly, the next night, Wednesday at Toronto, and then it's capped off on Friday, December 16th with a visit to Detroit to take on the Pistons. Expectations, Morgan, or what would you like to get out of this road trip for the Sacramento Kings?
I mean, I would like for them to pull out some wins against the good teams.
Ooh,
yeah.
So you want to get gritty a little bit. It's like, but it's a 6-game road trip. Do you have like a win total? Like you're like, hey, I expect them to win 3.
Okay.
Could they win 2 and you'd be okay? Like
no, I should be. If they went 2 and 4, no, I would feel a little bit disappointed.
Yeah.
I feel like if it was a 500 road trip, 3 and 3.
I will take 3 and 3.
Same.
But I like what you're saying here, because I think sometimes we get, and it's like, well, okay, you can't beat Milwaukee. You can't beat Cleveland.
But you can.
But now you do have to, as you see this team, this 22 games into a season, your expectations should go a little higher. And it doesn't mean that you think this team is like, oh, a championship contender, a top 6 seed or whatever. But no, like if you play the right way, you should be in some of these games. And they've done that. They were in that game for stretches in Boston. That Phoenix game was pretty fun and entertaining too. They had their chances. I'm with you. I'd like them to get one of these games that, the so-called public says they're not supposed to get.
Even if you told me like they should win this game or they should win this game, I'm not like that. I'm not if Giannis wasn't playing in the Milwaukee game, they should win that game. No, Milwaukee's still a really good team. Like there's still so many good things about how they play team basketball and their philosophy. You could say the same thing for how Cleveland has played this season.
Yeah, and you already got them once.
Right.
They're not going to forget about that.
No.
And last year when the Kings went there, it got really ugly. So, yeah, I mean, it's not easy for me. What are the games you're supposed to win? New York and Detroit.
Right.
And Toronto's been up and down, but like they're still, for me, a team that you could see give the Kings problems. Like
I agree.
Van Vliet's legit, Siakam, all that. But I think the Kings are playing some good basketball right now, and you're not going to sneak up on teams as much anymore. I think people are starting to take notice that, hey, you're like the 5th seed in the West, and this is over a quarter way in now, and you're playing really good offensively. You're starting to trend better defensively. You're not sneaking up on teams.
If their losses against whatever team, like obviously I'd rather have their losses be against Philly, Cleveland, Milwaukee, right? And let's say those were losses. If those losses were still the ones where you could look at, man, there's so much that they can take and grow from that moment. And it's still early enough in the season where I look at they can make adjustments so then they're beating these teams later. That's the type of loss I would want to see. I know so many people hearing this, especially NBA fans, are like, how could you ever? Well, it's because you have to be realistic. It's not, they're not the Warriors not the Warriors right now, but you know what I'm saying? Like a team where you're just expecting these type of wins. They haven't shown me that they can just do that night after night after night. And then especially on a road trip. So like once they start doing that, they've already shown that they're already a good team in this league, which I think is a huge step for this entire organization.
Yeah, and the good news with this trip, too, you only have that one back-to-back, and that is Philly-Toronto. The Knicks game should be gettable. They've been I mean, that game against the Mavericks I was watching yesterday, I felt so bad. The Knicks looked like they were in control. The Mavs have been struggling, and all of a sudden the third quarter happens. The Mavs dropped 41 points on them. It was like 41-13 in the third. Milwaukee just got Chris Middleton back.
Okay, yeah.
So he's trying to get back into the mix of things. I'm not sure about Milwaukee's schedule because I don't think he's playing back-to-backs right now. We know how good the Cavs are. Philly, I think Harden was back around the team today, so I don't know if he's on track to come back. Tyrese Maxey is still out, so they're a bit shorthanded, but Embiid is a problem. Then Toronto and Detroit. So, yeah, it's challenging, but hey, I think they're a good team. They can get through it. And you go 3-3, I'll take that. You go 3-3, all of a sudden you come back to Sacramento and you are 16-12.
16-12, and you'd be taking on the Charlotte Hornets too.
Yeah.
You know?
And then you're 17-12. What? 18, and then the Lakers, 18.
No,
I'm not getting that far ahead.
No,
but no, honestly, the whole goal is stay in the mix. Be around that 500 mark. You're off to the best start since 04-05. That is great. Keep this rolling. And, you know, Milwaukee, I want to see how I'm so eager to see the test against Milwaukee because there is nothing like dealing with Giannis. And talk about a test for a defense that has shown some improvement.
Yeah.
Go deal with Giannis, who is ridiculous. Lopez, who will block shots and then hit threes. You get Middleton back. You know what Holiday can do defensively. That's a great team.
Expect some really frustrating moments, and not frustrating moments to like, oh, there's going to be incompetent basketball being played. It's like, no, frustrating moments because Giannis is a freak. Giannis can do things that no one in this league can stop. So like those moments are going to happen. It's just how this team comes out and plays after those moments happen, how they respond, right? Especially in a third quarter. We saw what happened in Boston. I don't want that type of game again.
Yeah. You want to learn from that opportunity.
Yeah.
Domantas Sabonis tonight, Morgan. He was asked about the beam. You want to hear Domantas Sabonis talk about the beam? Let's hear what the big fella had to say.
It means a lot, you know. We're trying to change this franchise around, and having everybody involved and feel part of it just makes it so much more fun. You know, everyone feels like they're contributing. When you have,
you know, it's so funny about the beam thing. I was thinking about how, like, what if they had launched it last year? You know, it's just crazy how this is almost like the perfect year for them to do it. And this has been talked about for a long time. And for some reason they thought, yeah, let's do it this year.
Dude, it would have been well, you saw Kristen Ledlow in the beginning of this season talking shit and making jokes about the Kings and the beam and being like, what's that going to be lit 20 times, 19 times this season? And it's great because she like backed it up after the Kings started winning and was like, all right, you know, like, let me pay the power bill. I was wrong and everything. So it's so true though. It's so nice that everything was felt this year.
Yeah.
The confidence to be like, we can do something like this because everything is going well. Everything feels right.
Well, we appreciate everyone being here tonight. Make sure to hit the thumbs up button. Make sure to subscribe. We should mention that tonight's Night Chat presented by Joey Reagan over at Lion Real Estate. Hey, if you're looking for a house in the Sacramento area, there is no better person than Joey to help you with your needs. He has helped out podcast listeners. He had one who moved from New Jersey to Sacramento with the help of Joey.
Yeah, and I mean, if you like the beam, well, guess what? I think Joey might even like the beam more, okay? He loves Sacramento. He loves the Kings. He's someone that just so many people I know always say that they build a relationship with him.
Yep.
And he's always said that too about the work that he does do. It's just not about the transactions. It's about building the relationships and meeting the people. And trust me, when you meet him, you will feel that way. So
you're probably going to be friends with him after.
Yeah.
So,
even if you didn't end up buying a house or selling your house with him, you would end up being friends with him. So make sure that you guys, if you are looking to buy or sell your home, or if you know anyone else, to give them Joey's information.
Yeah. Hit him up, jreagan.golion.com, jreagan.golion.com. You can also give him a call at 916-412-4592. Call or text him, 916-412-4592. License number 02128070. Also, We've got new merch if you go to deuceandmo.com. We appreciate all the people buying our new merch. We've got a ton of it, including stuff with our new logos, our old logos, the NWO style. We got Tower Records versions of the Deuce and Mo logo, Night Chat, crew necks. We got zip ups. We got a ton of stuff, including stickers and beer glasses.
Deuce, I know I didn't discuss this with you, but this is what I was going to do. Starting next week, I was actually going to start having a Christmas discount, holiday discount for everybody, just so then, obviously, if you guys want to make sure you have some extra little stocking stuffers or whatever it is around the holidays, that you can go online and get some things for a discounted price.
So you're just telling people that there is a discount coming up. You're not actually unveiling any code at this hour.
Oh no, but it's coming up to let them know, like,
Okay.
hey, what are your
So,
holiday gift plans?
be ready.
Here you go. Oh yeah, no, but I'm doing it before, like weeks before.
Okay.
So like,
that's good to
it's,
know.
yeah.
All right. Well, deuceandmo.com, click on merch. And if you're a business in the area, or if you're some national brand trying to partner with us, what are you waiting for? Just go to deuceandmo.com, click on contact, and let's have a conversation. Maybe we can help out your business in an awesome way.
You really shouldn't talk about that while you're wearing the jacket.
Oh no, this makes us unique.
Oh.
And
wow.
next time,
Yeah.
I mean, if the Kings make the playoffs, I'm going shirtless with
No,
this jacket.
and
This
like
is embracing it.
I would hope that there'd be like a different bit by then.
This one's staying for a while.
Oh,
Man.
got it. Okay.
This one's staying. Hey, what is up, Will Z?
Hey, what's up, Deuce and Mo? How you guys doing tonight?
We are good, man. What's on your mind?
So you guys were talking about the bell earlier, and I think it was a few nights ago. I was saying how it looked like the Kings were taking more charges.
Yes, and Davion tried to take a couple today that did not go his way.
The Davion, some of those calls are so close, and I just don't fully understand them. But yeah, Fox got one tonight. So that's 8 straight games that the Kings have had to charge. And that might not seem like a lot to have won a game, which they've had 9 in the last 8. But OKC is leading the league with 1.2 a game. So those are, I mean, it's one of the many reasons why their defense is climbing.
I love it. What's going on in the background? Just curious. Sounds like
my cat is trying to get into a box.
That's what I thought. There was some sort of like, I was like, it's got to be some animal. No, it's fine. I was just so curious what it was. That's a great stat, though. And that's another thing you can do defensively, Morgan. You talk about rim protection. Here's a way to protect the rim.
Yeah.
Get in there and take a charge.
Yeah. And not only that, though, Wilsey, you're seeing how excited the guys get. I mean, obviously taking a charge is like one of the more exciting things you can do for a team. It's like that sacrifice and everything. But you feel that those proud vibes from Mike Brown, and you can tell everyone appreciates those type of vibes from the main guy that is like telling them to do all these certain things, and when they execute things, he gets just as excited. I love how much joy that they're playing with, even with things like taking a charge.
Oh, it's amazing. King's Film Room posted the Fox charge. You see Brown jumping up and down, like with his arms in the air. Like he's so into it.
Love the guy.
I do. I love him.
Can I give you one nitpick on Mike Brown?
Oh.
Is it okay? I know they're 13-9.
He's
this is
perfect. So what?
No, and I feel like I want to ask him about this too. I will at some point.
Wow.
Well, I just feel like there are times where I'm a believer when someone, for example, Keegan Murray is the guy I want to focus on. And this happened last game against the Clippers and once tonight too, where I felt like, hey, he just hit a shot. He's making some things happen. And then he takes him out.
Yeah.
And he takes him out because it's a normal time he takes him out. I'm the type of person that I literally mark every substitution during a game. I'll just show you quickly on my notes. I do a lineup with like when guys come in and out. And so it's nothing normal. It's nothing abnormal by any means. But I think sometimes as organized and you want to be with like getting guys in at certain times, I think there should be some flexibility when a guy's going. And I know there is, and I'm not saying he never does it. I just noticed it with Keegan. I'm like, yeah, you can make the case to let this guy roll a couple more minutes. It feels like he's got it going, and I really want him to get over that hump.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
No,
Was that too much for people?
Will, what do you think about that?
No, it's a good point. Because it doesn't seem like it's something he does with other players. Like you were saying, like when TD gets going or if Lyles is going or any one of the other like bench role players, it's hot. It seems like he stays with them. But it is interesting that that trend has popped up to be different with Keegan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that. Yeah,
something to watch.
it's just,
Something to watch.
and,
That's all.
well, and that's why I don't even think it's a criticism. I think it's more like, what's your reasoning, sir? Like, what's
Yeah, he
Why?
pretty much takes Keegan out in that like 6 to 5-ish minute mark of the quarter. He and Fox go out. That's what's been happening lately.
Okay.
So we'll see. Well, we'll see. Hey, man, we always appreciate the stats, man. Great stuff,
You're
man.
amazing.
Appreciate the time. Have a good rest of the night, guys.
All right, appreciate it, man. Let's check in with Jamie. Oh, Jamie's in the building. What is going on, young Jamie?
Deuce. Hey, Morgan.
Hey, Jamie, what's going on?
Nothing much.
Do you like my jacket, man?
Oh God.
It's absolutely amazing, Deuce. And I love the lights on it. Like it's
Thank you.
absolutely amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was really nice.
Morgan really anticipated that this was going to be a bad move on my part, and now the people are buying in. She's starting to understand.
No, I wasn't just dumping on it. I just was no. Anyway, Jamie, what'd you like about tonight's game?
Well, I liked Keegan. Monk is really good. I like Monk a lot.
Yeah.
I feel like you gotta get him to start. I feel like other people got to start getting him to the 6th man of the year conversation because he's putting up crazy numbers off the bench right now.
Yeah, it's just not only the numbers, man. Of course, it's nice that he scores, but getting people involved, just the energy.
Yeah.
And during a long NBA season, there are going to be some nights you don't have the energy. And we've seen it. Remember that game in Atlanta where it's like, God, they were playing some decent defense, but they can't score. They're tired. Second night of a back-to-back after being Memphis. Oh, this is rough. He played well that night.
Yeah.
Right? Like, he tried to bring it. And it's just nice to have that type of impact off your bench, especially when things are you're trying to grind things
And
out.
you guys, this is the other thing too. I don't know if you guys have ever been around like fake happy people, or even like we've seen it around the league where there's like these players and they're happy in good moments and then
Ooh.
really down in the bad moments. Malik,
Do not talk about Kat in that way, More.
hey,
I just don't think that's fair.
You're so mean. No, but he's just one of those guys, like you can tell it's genuine joy, genuine happiness that is coming from him. And what that does is truly allow those bad times, or when adversity does hit, allow like genuine, okay, let's rally together. Let's do this together. Like he doesn't have to put on a fake face and act like super happy to get through it. It's just like this intensity overcomes all of them, and they set a different type of tone, and they stick together during those moments because they are happy playing basketball together. And I think he's a big part of that.
Yeah.
Well, Jamie,
And-
go ahead.
I'm excited for this road trip. I feel like four of these 6 games will be a good challenge for us. I think we can easily handle business in Detroit and New York. But I'm excited. I'm really excited to see how we're gonna perform against the Milwaukee.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see how that game's gonna go.
It's going to be a good test. Jamie, thanks for checking in, man.
Of course. Thank you. Have a good night.
Jamie. What a nice young man.
He's so nice, dude. He's so sweet.
What is up, Manny? Manny, by the way, Morgan, as you know, most of the time, he supports the Kings, but he is a Bulls fan. And tonight he was at the game. He said he was going to say hi to me. Did not say hi. It's not a big deal. We move on. But he was in Sacramento at Golden One Center to see his Bulls take on the Kings. How'd it feel, Manny?
It didn't feel pretty good, James. It didn't feel good at all.
What were your takeaways from tonight?
I mean, it's like we were talking briefly yesterday. This team it's just infectious, man. Like, I can't name a player on this team that I dislike or like I like everybody on the team. Everybody. I don't even feel like that about my Bulls. Like, I, of course, root for them, and maybe because I'm not there, but like, I don't find them to be like, I don't know. There's something about them that I just don't get like overly excited with. The Kings, every time they play, it's exciting to watch. I'm exciting to see them on the bench cheering for each other. Sometimes some guys don't play every game or don't play the same amount of minutes, and they could care less.
Yeah, I'm curious too, just really quick with the Bulls, because you watch more of them. They have such good pieces, right? Like exciting. You would think that their big three could really get it together, and then you have that energy guy in Alex Caruso. And also Billy Donovan has shown, as a coach throughout his years in the league, that he can get stuff out of guys.
Here's what it is, Morgan.
Yeah,
Here's what it is. And Manny, you can jump in here too about this.
Okay.
Zach LaVine doesn't like Billy Donovan.
It seems
You're
like
not,
that.
and you're not winning games that way. He's had some comments. He was unhappy once when he got benched in the fourth quarter. He was asked about Billy Donovan changing the starting lineup, and he's like, well, that's coach's opinion. There's just some weirdness going on. And
Fair.
they have adversity. And right now they're not handling it well. They don't look together to me. And
so I'm going to
go ahead.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
My opinion is I don't think people realize how important Ball is to that team.
Absolutely.
I think he is so key to their success. When he's out there, he's obviously the primary ball handler, and the way he distributes the ball, what he does on defense also, like they're missing that. I thought IU, after last year's kind of surprise to everybody year, that if he could grow this year, that he would be a big, and it doesn't seem like he's grown as much as I expected him to. And with Ball being out, they're just really hurting at that. I'm telling you, if he gets, hopefully he'll come back and be the player that he was. If he does, you'll see a totally different team.
Yeah, and I hope Lonzo comes back, but some of the stuff you hear about his progress post-surgery is really sad.
Scary.
It is sad. He's had trouble walking at times, right? And it's multiple surgeries now. And this is a player that is so talented, like what he can do
His vision.
with the ball, with his vision,
Yeah.
but defensively. And you're right. When he was out there with Caruso and DeRozan was clicking, it felt like the Bulls were really turning the corner. Without him, and now, LaVine post-surgery, he hasn't shot the ball well until, of course, tonight. This was his best game of the season by far. But, it's a lot of LaVine. It is, and that's hard. I just watching the league, when you see teams play like that, I just don't think it's conducive to long-term winning. And I prefer a brand of basketball where the ball's being shared. And I see the same thing kind of in Dallas right now, where Luka clearly is a talented player and is putting up monster numbers. He doesn't have enough talent around him for sure, but I think he's a hard guy to play with. And I'm like, God, imagine if Luka just played a motion offense and just kind of had fun out there, because he's such a good passer and he could still be so deadly. He's so talented.
If you put him in a disciplined like motion offense where there's just more of this.
If he had the pieces around him, yeah.
Sure. But even so, the style of play with Luka is he does what he wants, but he's also such a good playmaker that they trust him in doing what he wants. But sometimes even those players, that caliber of player, still needs a different type of coaching, needs a different type of I guess management, people telling him how to play basketball differently. Just because you're that good and you can do things at that level doesn't mean that you're achieving everything at an elite level. And I think he can achieve more of a team basketball style of play at a different level if he was coached differently.
The Bulls are the perfect example. The original Bulls, Mike was everything, right? Mike could do whatever he wanted, whenever he wanted. But until you put him into the triangle offense with everybody else and what Phil taught, that's when they got success. He could score 50 a game. Cool. He can do whatever he wants. Cool. But where's the discipline?
Yeah.
Where's the team basketball? And until Phil came, that's when that came.
Yeah.
Well, Manny, that was cute talking about your Bulls, but the Kings are pretty fun, huh? Are you buying that they're a good team, or do you need to see more?
The Kings?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I've got them playoff bound, no doubt. Unless some kind of injury comes, and I think they're going to win the first round game. First round. I think they're going to win their first round matchup. I think they'll make that much. They're just, as long as everybody stays healthy, they've already bought into everything. They love playing for each other. And Mike Brown, this team potential over the next couple of years, I think is so great. I hope they go out. I hope the management sees this and I don't know if they're going to be able to, but I think they should look hard at making a move. Like
getting
that one more piece.
Like DeRozan.
No, not DeRozan.
All right, Manny. Good hearing from you, man.
You too. Love you guys.
Love you too. Thanks, Manny.
That's sweet.
Morgan, I went to go try to grab the vision board behind us. For those who don't know, during the offseason, Morgan made a vision board. And it's interesting looking at this as the Kings are 13-9. Morgan's centerpiece of that vision board was De'Aaron Fox. Underneath that, she put on her vision board, it said enjoyable basketball. You also put what?
Just keep going.
Farewell to our incredible 16-year tragedy. You also put 41 on basketballs, like 500. They're about your vision. It's good. What else did you have on there?
I saw, I hope to turn my pain into a smile. I've been smiling a lot lately.
This is why you do vision boards. People are going to start doing vision boards if the Kings are really good this year because of you.
Dude.
Wow.
Piece of cardboard and a People magazine, baby. Let's go.
That is badass.
That's fun. That's fun. The Mavs could really use a little vision board and decide what they need to do with their style of play. I like just talking about them really quick because it is crazy when you see a player that good like Luka and you're just like, why can't you figure it out? And then you see Porzingis doing super well in Washington. And I'm glad that the Mavs don't have it figured out. But for Luka's career and because he is such a fun player to watch, I hope he keeps adjusting his game.
You lost Brunson for nothing.
Dude.
Porzingis gets traded to Washington. Now he's good. He's been awesome this year. Also, I love the new people coming in, filtering in, watching us live. Ken says, why is Deuce wearing that?
Yeah, thank you, Ken.
Matthew says, why is Deuce trying to seduce me with that coat?
No,
That's a good point. Let's go next to Jake. Hi, Jake.
Hey, how's it going?
We are awesome, man.
Awesome. And Mo, maybe you need a coat as well, perhaps purple.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
I'll look for something new for the next win. How's that?
It's kind of like a Seth Rollins, Becky Lynch thing. They kind of wear random crazy things sometimes, and
I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'll figure it out.
You need the matching boots, though, Deuce. Do you have the boots?
Yeah, I know. We would need another camera in here so you could see my full outfit.
Okay, no, that's enough, Jake. Well, what about the game?
Was a great win. I didn't get to watch the whole game. I slid in at the end of the third quarter when the lead was down to like 4 points, and a lot of people like probably would have thought, oh, they're gonna lose. They just gave up a big lead. They're gonna lose now. Same old Kings. But I love the fact that the Kings this season, they don't give up. They make every shot difficult on the other team. I mean, there's no gimmies with their defense.
That's a huge difference. They have been so much better at contesting shots, where now it definitely pops when there is a tough play. I think it was Levine. Was it Levine or DeRozan? It might have been Levine who got a step on Huerter and took it all the way to the basket.
Yeah.
That used to happen like 27 times a game. Now it's like, oh, there's a couple of breakdowns, and then they talk about it.
Quick timeout.
Yeah.
Boom. Let's talk about it. There's substance to the timeout. They learned something. Let's go.
Yeah, I think the Kings, like they were only up by 3, and they called the timeout, and then after that, they went on like a little bit of a run. So I love that. Yeah, the help defense, like I just love to see it. It's there. I don't know if anyone's like thrown out this comparison, but the Kings, how they're playing this year, is reminding me of like prime Popovich Spurs, like the fast break intensity, the help defense, the ball movement on offense. It's really great.
It's a fun brand of basketball.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, those teams you mentioned were crazy elite.
Well, I mean, we're getting there. We're like the little brother, right?
Yeah. You know what? You'll take that. Absolutely, you'll take that.
And you talk about that comparison. I tried not making that comparison, but I was talking about, again, the style of basketball that Mike Brown brings, and it's that team basketball comparison. And I feel like there's a lot of times that the Spurs had the boring team basketball that worked, and then the Warriors would have the exciting team basketball that worked. And I feel like the Kings are starting to find their way in the middle of the pack, and I am here for it.
That dunk from Monk in the I think it was in the fourth quarter, man. That tore the roof off Golden One.
Yeah, no, and the atmosphere there has been. He's clearly a fan favorite at this point. It's fun, man. Anything else jump out to you tonight?
I mean, we're going into a tough road stretch. I think we need to be optimistic. I don't think the team's going into it saying like, oh well, we'll just get out of here 3-3 and get back to Sacramento. I want to see us like compete and try and win every game. I mean, I think we got the Bucks next. I would love to give it to them.
That would be amazing. Well, Jake, thanks for checking in, man.
Thank you, guys. You guys have a good rest of your night.
Appreciate it. Ken in the chat was not happy, by the way, that I did not answer his question. He doesn't understand why I'm wearing this jacket.
Oh.
I didn't know I needed to spell it out for you. The Kings are 13-9. There's a beam that gets shot up from the arena after every win. I bring lightsabers to the party. Today, I felt like I needed to bust out this jacket. I got it. It came in the mail yesterday. I ordered it and said, next time the Kings have a big win, a nice win.
We're trying to find something purple.
It's my gimmick.
And a light for every podcast, because why not have a whole bunch of purple light shit in here, right?
Yeah, exactly. Whoa, what do we got? Hold on. What is happening here? We got Nick trying to pop in. All right, let's go next to Sean. Hi, Sean.
Long time.
Yeah, what is up, man?
So you want my Jimmy update or what?
Oh, God.
Okay, you know what? I'm not going to say that. That was me.
Yeah.
Jimmy Garoppolo is out for the season. Sean's a Niners fan, and he wants to talk about it.
How about your jacket needs to be out for the rest of the season too?
Ooh.
So you and Morgan are the only ones. Okay, cool.
I mean, I said I liked it, and then I was encouraging you to take it off at some point. But
yeah, it's okay. It's a gutsy move.
Sean,
I like it.
Did you watch the Kings?
Yeah, I did. It was a beautiful day. I got Niners and Kings. I was dialed into the Kings game though, for sure.
Well, that's good to hear.
What do you like tonight, Sean?
Man, dude, I've been loving the way Barnes is playing, but just like what he brings, and he's always, I feel like, he's had down moments, started off this year rough, but it's like Monk, man. Monk has just been so solid for us that, I don't know, I'm having a hard time. Like Barnes had a solid night tonight, but Monk just brings so many elements off the bench that I'm like, I don't know, he might be my new guy. He may be my new.
Would you buy his jersey?
Why not? Nick would say, yeah, I guess I do need a Kings jersey. And you know what? My favorite Kings jersey that I have in the closet right now was the last 6-man for the Kings.
Wow.
Right? Favorites, right? So, no, I gotta, I love what he's bringing consistently. His playmaking, he's been, he's definitely picked up when Velvet's been struggling from deep. Monk's just kind of filled that role, and Harrison has shot, well too. But really liking what I see from Monk, and I gotta give Metu like his flowers, man. Like he has come in and been pretty helpful off the bench in limited minutes, super effective.
Yeah, we have not talked about him enough tonight. And Metu had 10 points. He had 3 rebounds. He didn't miss a shot. He was 5 of 5. He got some easy looks around the basket, and he's in the right spot. He's been finishing. He's been much better defensively. He's been probably one of the bigger surprises to me this season because I thought early on, especially after last year, watching him with no structure whatsoever with the Kings.
Yeah.
And then to start the year, I'm like, maybe he's not going to fit here. Like, I just don't see it. Him being at the small ball 5, long term, is that going to be the play? Maybe not if the Kings want to get to another level. But man, for this role right now, for this team, he has been really good.
Yeah. And you talk about structure. And that's exactly what he needed. He needed someone to lead him, to tell him how to play basketball the right way. And it was someone that was going to hold him accountable if he wasn't, if he wasn't moving the ball around, if he was taking that first shot. And he's doing it all right now. I love what we're seeing from Med 2 off the bench.
Yeah, I agree with you, Mo. And I think the key to all of this is Brown, and the system. And he gives a lot of love to his coaches, his assistants, Jordy. Doug got cred from working with Domas in the offseason, why his shot is so much better. It can't be understated. If you're going to talk about all-star De'Aaron and sixth man Monk, if they kept playing like this, they're fifth in the West right now. And it was talked about post game. There's not, a lot of gap between the top spot and number 5. Brown is looking like if we get into the playoffs, he could be up for some hardware himself.
If Mike Brown gets the Kings to the playoffs, there's zero doubt he wins Coach of the Year. To end the Kings playoff drought and probably make them a good defensive team, he is 100%. Right now, he's a Coach of the Year candidate. He has to be. And I think Will Hardy would get some love for what he's doing with Utah. Yeah. But Sacramento's a great story right now. And I think what's cool about the Kings is it's not just like, it's kind of cute in Sacramento. People around the league are watching this team.
Yep.
Bill Simmons is talking about this team being super entertaining, and that guy barely watches basketball.
Oh.
So it's good that. No, I'm just saying it's good.
Correct.
No, but I think people are starting to see this team's a really entertaining team to watch. They're fun. They're exciting.
Yeah.
The beam is kind of taken off. It's cool.
Yeah, the beam's rad. That's a good promo bit right there. If we think about it too, how long has it? It's been a long time since we've had a team have any success. But I think about even the last time we were in the playoffs, the people that came in their age versus the young, the youth of this team. Again, I think it gives more credibility to Brown and what they're buying into and how he's coaching them. I know watching that guy coach on the sidelines and timeouts is. I know Mo being, it's amazing to watch, and it makes an immediate impact sometimes.
I'm so with you, Sean. What?
Can I one more Mike Brown nitpick tonight?
Oh my God.
Gosh.
Guys, we slobber over Mike Brown 90% of the time. It's okay to be like,
close
hey.
to perfect, but go on.
Okay.
I don't want to be accused of being a homer or something.
No, neither do I.
Being
but
honest.
Can I just love
balance.
him?
I get it.
I'm being honest here. He took a timeout with 39 seconds to go in the third quarter.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was
leaving the Kings with one timeout.
Yeah. No, that was tough.
Right?
That was tough.
That was the.
That's what you text me, even your frustration with it, and you text.
Only a basketball mind would recognize that. So I'll give you points for that.
No, and Sean, it's like, but yeah, for the most part, a lot of his as a coach, what he does consistently, not only with, like we keep saying, his substance in a huddle, or how he talks to guys, how he connects with guys, even in game, right? And the adjustments that are being made. But for the most part, he doesn't make those type of mistakes. Like, it's hard when we see hey, a rotation that we don't like, or maybe it's a challenge that's being used too early, and we're just nitpicking. But at the same time, if one of those things ever screw up a game, then we get to blame Mike Brown for that. But right now, it's like they're ending up with so many W's.
Did he end up using his challenge tonight? I remember there was a couple of plays he might, and then held it.
Didn't he challenge the Davion one? The Levine, the Davion?
No, he did not. He almost did. I know. So that play, I know everyone freaked out about it. The whistle wasn't on the slap of the ball.
It was the second one.
Yeah, and his staff went, no.
Okay.
No, he did not challenge it.
So he didn't challenge tonight?
No.
Okay, never mind. He did not challenge tonight.
They were talking about him potentially doing it in the first half, I think, on some Sabonis questionable calls. And then there was a charge on, that we thought, and you already spoke to it earlier, he didn't get some of those calls. I think you were talking about that, Deuce. But yeah, he coached almost a perfect game tonight, aside from, like you said, using that timeout when that could have been an issue at the end. But just so much credit to him and the staff. And I think that has been why all your your polls are like pretty consistent. Like, is this a fluke? Is this for real? And I think we're seeing consistency 20 plus games in now because of, people are buying in and into how he's coaching the team.
I like the guy. He brings a great energy, and it's a complete difference compared to the last couple of years. It's wild. It is wild how much the right coach can impact things.
And so last thing for you guys, because we've seen Keegan seems to be heating up again, and a lot of his shots just seem like they weren't bad. We saw some bad misses tonight, and I don't think maybe one of them was Keegan. Huerter was still having some trouble. I think Monk had one pretty wider air ball. But when it comes to like Keegan and even Fox, in terms of defense, supplementing their lack of offense with defense, I mean, is that what, do you guys buy that for Fox right now? Is that he's struggling a little bit on the offensive side, not putting up his normal numbers, but
Deuce especially, was talking about that early on in the podcast, just about how defensively he's still making an impact, which I completely agree with. But I'm still seeing him from a physical standpoint, just looking a step slower right now. And I think that's just, I'm just analyzing what I see. I don't think it's something like it's an effort thing or it's like, oh man, he's in a huge slump. Like, I think it's a physical thing, but speculating.
Right.
All right, Sean. Well, good chatting with you, man.
Yeah. Thanks. Love you guys. Have a good rest of your show.
There's Sean checking in. Appreciate Sean checking in. I did want to, acknowledge everyone in the chat because we still have a ton of people watching us on YouTube and Twitch. We appreciate everyone being here. And I did want to award our chatter of the night.
Oh, okay.
It can take some time to get that. And we have not given out in a while, right? Because the Kings are winning. They're having a good year, whatever. I'd like to congratulate Chad Garrison.
Congratulations, Chad.
For a few, he is firing with messages tonight.
His name's Chad.
Let me be honest. With a top 10 league player in Halliburton, we would only be that much better in my opinion.
Okay. So a couple of things here. Chad. Tyrese Halliburton. You're not going to meet many people who like Tyrese Halliburton more than these two right here, us. He ain't top 10 yet. Okay, he's not a top 10 player in the league. Two, the Kings would not be in the position probably right now because they wouldn't have Sabonis. So we don't know. I'd also like to give him love for this.
Playoffs would be nice, but it's still a first-round exit, unfortunately, in this tough Western Conference.
Really, Chad?
You're telling me, you are going to sit here in the chat and tell me tonight that if the Kings somehow, after a long 82-game grind, find a way to get in the playoffs, you're like, well, they're getting eliminated in the first round. And then the final one I saw from him.
Well, just remember, the Warriors will jump us here soon.
Can we enjoy it for a second?
I feel bad for Chad.
No, do not feel. He's been
someone check in on Chad. Is he okay? Because if he's writing like that,
I want to hug Chad. I want him to look at the beam and get excitement.
Everyone, there's a hug emoji, everyone hug Chad because he needs a little bit of love. I think
the movie just started and you're tripping about the ending. It just started.
Well, and not only that, you're supposed to enjoy the journey because sometimes the conclusion doesn't actually end up turning out as great as the journey. And you have to remember, in sports, you have to be realistic about the teams that you root for, right? Or that you cover. And for the Sacramento Kings to go from a 16-year playoff drought to a championship team the next year, does that sound realistic to you in any way, shape, or form? Unless Giannis, LeBron, KD, and Jason Tatum all came on the team? Come on now. Realistic.
Let's give some love to people, including some of our new subscribers and members. Misael is a member for 2 months in a row. He also donated $2 saying, #1 Kings podcast, Sacramento proud, Deuce and Mo. Appreciate
Thank you.
Give him a hell yeah.
Give me a hell yeah.
Also, shout out to Aaron Pack, who became a member, saying Deuce is lit. Oops.
Give me a hell yeah.
Also, thanks to Chef Curry, Apex Legends across the pond, and Willard. I don't know if it's that Willard. Willard Sims for subscribing on YouTube, and Keaton for donating $2. Appreciate everyone's
Thanks,
support
guys.
of the podcast.
Too kind.
All right, Morgan.
Mm-hmm.
Want to check in with our friend?
Let's do it.
He was at the game tonight. I did not get a chance to talk with him.
Wow.
I know. He is the one and only Nick. Hello, Nick.
Hey, Deuce, MO.
Hey, I can't see you, Nick.
How are you?
I am good, man. You're not showing your face tonight? Oh, here you go. Okay, you are showing your face. Hold on, Nick. I want to get you on camera. So Nick, just so people know, Nick's great aunt passed away today. And Nick let us know in the Discord that she used to make awesome raviolis for him.
Oh, Nick, I'm so sorry.
It was just hard. When I went to the Bay, I had to go to the Bay Area Thursday, and told her I love her. Had to say my goodbyes to her, but it's okay. But we'll all die pretty soon. It's really hard, and that was my stepdad's my dad's sister, Grandpa Paul Warner,
Okay.
Grandpa Paul's sister. But Auntie Toots passed away yesterday, and it was hard.
I'm sorry for your loss, man. And I'm glad. What's really cool that you got to say bye to her.
But it was really tough. Really heartbroken about this, but I do kind of miss her. But she was a nice.
Well, you can really. You don't have to kind of miss her. You can really miss her. You miss her, Nick.
Yeah, I do. But until we meet again,
Yeah, Nick. Let me ask you this: what made her raviolis so good? What do you like?
Great question.
Yeah, what were so special about those raviolis?
Gosh, those raviolis were pretty good.
Hell yeah.
But I think, what cheer me up is the Kings win tonight.
Yes!
And I do want to have to say, but I want Morgan to do this really quick. Deuce, if you could put that song on, Morgan, I want Morgan to say "Fire the Laser."
Okay, hold on, Nick. Let me cue it up for you. I appreciate you doing that. You're producing the show now. Hold on.
Arm the laser.
Arming the laser! Begin laser ignition!
Fire the laser!
How was that, Nick?
Yeah, fire the laser.
Yep, just like it.
Hell yeah, Nick.
Thanks, Nick. We almost forgot.
Light the beam.
Light the beam. Light
the beam.
Also, one note for Kings fans, okay?
Uh-huh.
When Sabonis is at the free throw line getting ready to shoot free throws, you got to stop to light the beam. You can do it up until he's about to shoot. I saw Luke Laux today. I was watching them. He was furious that they were playing like the sound of do 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 because Sabonis is trying to shoot free throws in a clutch.
They're playing during the free throws?
They kind of stopped right before, but the crowd was into it because they're so excited. But it's like, hey, quiet, during the free throws.
You got it.
Yeah,
Come on
cut
now.
it.
They're
Anyway,
smart.
he did make both. But so, hey, up until he's at the free throw line, stop it. Then after he makes the free throws, chant "Light the beam." Players don't like that. Anyway, Nick.
Why not light the beam?
Why not light the beam? Why not?
Nick, a couple of things. I know you were at the game tonight. You're also at the Stockton game last night, the Stockton Kings game. You sat courtside for that game. What was that like for you?
It was pretty good, and I know you had some tech issues that started the Kings game yesterday. You had
We don't want to talk.
We're talking about the good stuff.
I want to talk about how it was for you.
Yeah.
It was pretty good. The food was good, but unfortunately, the Kings did lose.
I know.
114, 125.
But hey, why not beat Oklahoma City? The
Why
Blue.
not?
Yeah. Anyway, the Kings are going on the road next, Nick.
And you got to beat Milwaukee. You got to beat your 6 games. And Morgan, you'll be in San Francisco Wednesday.
How'd you know?
Kyle Draper told me. I asked him. I asked him if he was going on the road on Tuesday, and he said, "Yeah, he's going to Milwaukee. He's got 4 games."
Cool.
Awesome.
Well,
and Morgan, you'll be in San Francisco Wednesday. You'll be staying down there for a few days.
Yep. Thanks for knowing my schedule.
So you'll be in a hotel for a few days.
Oh no, not on Wednesday. That's the next week. I'll be. Yeah, but don't worry about that, Nick.
Well, Nick, we appreciate you checking in as always, and I'm sorry.
Hey, why not win today? Why not win back to back? And why not see Quater yesterday? Why not? I even also yesterday. I just saw the Kings game. I saw Deuce and Mo yesterday, and I got a picture with both of them.
Yeah, let's go.
Did, Nick.
Poker Pro Eric told me on
jeez.
Discord. He said that you had cute pants, Morgan.
Okay, that's the creepiest thing I've ever heard. And Morgan doesn't appreciate it. I don't like it. He's lame. We don't let him know we don't care. And sleep dreams, okay?
Hey, but you had cute pants on, Morgan.
Okay,
Hey, thanks,
I did
Nick.
too. All right,
Yeah,
sleep dreams,
you had
okay?
your pants on.
Hey, sleep dreams.
Sleep
Why not beat Milwaukee? If I was
dreams.
coach of the team, what am I going to tell my team?
I don't
You're
know.
gonna tell them they need to go to bed. Okay, they need to go to bed.
You
All
need to
right.
tell my Kings beat the Milwaukee.
All right, beat the Milwaukee. We'll
Sleep
do it. All right,
dreams.
there's Nick. There is Nick.
He was not gonna end the call.
Nick was playing all of his hits.
Oh my god, he's like that. It's like a kid like being like, wait, could you read me one more bedtime story?
I love it.
No, Nick.
That is hilarious.
Super sweet.
He just makes everything feel good.
I love that he had that memory too about his great hand. That's cute.
Shout out to Jose who donated $2 saying, who's the guy Doug Christie talks to every time out? I don't know. I'll have to pay closer attention. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Let's check in with one of our friends. LoyalSacKingsFan is here. Hi, LoyalSacKingsFan.
Hello, LoyalSacKingsFan.
Hey guys.
What is up, man?
First off, I want to say your jacket is fire.
Ah.
Yeah, you'd wear something like this to school, right? And people would be like, "Oh, that's amazing."
Yeah, for sure.
Cool.
What'd you like about tonight's game?
I thought in the beginning we were jacking up a lot of threes, and I kind of got a little scared there when we were down like 18-11. You know?
Yeah. And then obviously you saw their defense come into play, and then they started figuring it out on the offensive end. You felt confident even in that third quarter, or what?
Well, I thought Malik Monk is just a great off the bench. He brings the energy. Like if the Kings are down, he's able to rally them up. I think he's just the best. I think he's gonna win 6 man for sure.
Ooh.
I love the confidence, man.
You weren't there at the game though, right?
No, I wasn't there.
Okay, yeah. Well.
All right. Anything else going on that you want to mention?
13-9 is really good. I think to 2004, 2005, I wasn't even born yet, and the way the Kings are playing right now, it just makes me so much happier as a person.
Aww,
that's cute.
That's really sweet.
That's very cute.
I've been depressed for 12 years of my life because the Kings have sucked, and now that they're doing good and they're 5th seed, second in the Pacific, makes my life so much better.
You know, when I was like 10, 11 years old is when the Kings started to rise for the first time. Like, it'd be really fun. That's when Jay Will. Loyal Sack Kings fan, your stuff is sounding all messed up right now. We'll let you go. Appreciate you, man. But that was the first time they were like literally competitive, right? They had the 1 year with Mitch where they made the playoffs in 96, but they captured the NBA world in that 98-99 year. And as a kid, it was so fun because people cared about the Kings.
Yeah.
Like people were wearing Kings gear, and you just felt, as a child, feeling that about the basketball team in town was awesome. So thinking Loyal Sack Kings fan being this like young kid who's like 12 years old and the Kings are actually fun right now, that's awesome.
Yeah, you feel a part of something too. I mean, whether you're an adult or a kid, but obviously growing up, when you're young like that, it's way more fun to go to school and be able to talk a little bit more smack, right?
Sorry, I just got caught in the chat. Chad's in it again, and I'm gonna acknowledge Chad one more time because I think he's a troll now, and I respect it.
Yeah. Okay.
He says, "Let's play 50 games and see where we are. Too early to get excited."
Oh yeah, he's a troll.
So just for those who are in that too early category, what I would say is, it's never too early to get excited about your team winning. I would say just don't go crazy and start going, they're for sure making the playoffs. They're for sure doing this. It's like, no, enjoy the growth and enjoy where they're at. Get excited about what they're doing.
Also, even if you weren't that excited about the record, you could be excited about actually what you're seeing, right?
Also, if it was reversed, let's say the Kings were terrible this year. And they had 4 or 5 wins. Would you be saying, let's see where they are at 50 games? No, you would be in here mad.
Yeah.
So it does matter.
Yeah. You can choose joy. Don't you
It's
worry.
okay, man. It's
Joy
okay.
bubbles are okay in this world. Hey, everybody give Chad a hug.
Let's give him a hug.
Big
in the
ol'
chat.
hug.
What's up, Bhung?
What is up, guys? Morgan, I have a very pressing question.
Oh, God.
Because it's hard to know on the YouTube screen on my phone, but those lights on that jacket are looking pretty blue to me, not purple.
Ooh.
Is that a Hanukkah jacket? Are you positive?
I mean, I'm not against it. I mean, it's a purplish.
You know what?
There's probably a hint of blue in there. And I'm sorry, you act as if they sell these jackets like, hey, they make them for the Kings. Okay, we had to. Can you just appreciate what I'm doing? Is this Chad calling in?
Jacket. You're acting like that is a Kings jacket though. Like you wore that like directly in relation to the Kings win. So don't tell me like there's no purple jacket.
Wait, hold on. I will. The one thing that I will stick up for, it is in relation to the beam, the laser beam.
It looks a lot like the beam.
Excuse
the color
me,
of
we
this
didn't
looks
need
like
your
the beam.
commentary. So it's a lot
I'm
like
not,
the
yeah.
beam, right? It's not like the King's purple or the King's jersey. It's more like, hey, this is lights up, and the Kings also have something that light up. Oh, the beam, great. That's what it's referring to. Is that
Yeah,
good?
but Morgan, I want to know only your opinion on
Okay.
this. What color is the beam?
I mean, it's definitely like a bluish purple, right?
I feel like it's pretty purple if you were to nail it to one color, though, right?
I mean, it isn't. Aren't some purples subjective unless you're like a graphic designer and you know exactly?
Yeah, but not the beam. I'm not talking about some purples.
Well,
You know?
the beam, honestly, from afar, could be more of a bluish purple unless you're up close.
Hold on, let me get this back on track because Bhung, he's not used to
What?
carrying a podcast, so he's really struggling with his content right now.
What?
And
Nice.
I gotta come in. It's like seeing a kid that doesn't know how to swim, just floundering. I'm the lifeguard on duty to dive in and save this because he's really forcing this right now. This is like a buddy. This is a buddy healed force 3.
This is a Bhung
Do
thing.
better. Do you have anything else to add? The Kings are 13-9. How about we talk about that instead of trying to nitpick
I've
my
never seen
jackets?
such a pathetic deflection out of you before. This is low. You just don't want to admit that your jacket's a Hanukkah jacket.
I have nothing against having a Hanukkah
Bhung,
jacket.
but I am
All right,
shocked.
all right.
I am shocked because I have a purple crew neck on next to him, and I do see some purplish lights reflecting off of
you.
his jacket.
And I-
Shut up, Deuce. No one's asking you. But I see
No one's
some
asking you.
Yeah, no one's asking you. But I do see some purplish lights. You know?
Don't you think that's the light just reflecting off
No,
of your
Bhung.
sweater?
God damn it. No, it's not.
Just for the record, this is so bad that when I edit the audio version of the podcast, I will be taking Bung's call out because it's like if I'm driving listening to this the next, I'm like, oh, what is happening? Like, what are they
Why
doing?
are you so mean?
I'm just.
No, this is how Deuce shows me his love. I understand.
You're kind of being mean.
The Kings won tonight. They've won 10 of 13.
And
They're
Bhung
13.
just-
They're 13-9. They've won 3 in a row. And this is what he's choosing to start with.
He is playfully talking shit to you, and now, Bung, it's time for you to say something nice.
I can talk about the Sacramento Kings if you'd like. If you're feeling a little insecure about your jacket, we can
Okay.
move on. It's okay. I think that for once we won a game with our defense tonight, I feel like. And that's a really nice thing to see. Both these teams are on a back-to-back, and I feel like the defense we got out of Keegan Murray, KZ Okpala, and a lot of the bench unit was the reason we won kind of a sloppy game out of both these teams tonight. And that's a really exciting thing to see for once. A night where Domas only puts up 11 points. De'Aaron only puts up 11 points. Kevin Huerter he would hit 3 to save his life. We still found a way to win this game. So I think there's a lot of positives to take from this.
That point was so great. It's crazy how many people have already made that point tonight, right, Morgan? You just regurgitated that. Like,
wow.
Well, I know.
Wow.
Oh, see,
what do
see,
I
this
gotta
is
do?
what happens. This is what happens.
He
See,
said, "What
you
did I
come-
do?"
You come
can't-
out me. You come at the guy.
No, I didn't say
This is
what did I do. I said, what do I
happens.
gotta do? What do I gotta do?
I'll tell you
to
this.
not get
Bung, you gotta either not come out and act like you're not talking shit when you are talking shit, and like own it, or you just, come out with some positive thoughts, right?
I'm talking shit at Deuce, not the Sacramento Kings. It would never happen. Deuce, do you remember when he made me thank him a couple of weeks ago? I mean, come on now.
Yeah, it's have manners. That's what you do in life, okay? You thank someone, have mmanners. Bhung,
all right, I've learned a lesson, I guess.
I appreciate you, man. We'll see you soon, all right?
All right.
Bye, Bhung.
Bye, Bhung. And if he's really upset,
He's not upset.
If he is sad that I went at him,
he's not sad.
There is not 1 ounce of me that feels bad.
I don't think he cares.
Can I talk about something personal for a second?
Yeah, what?
It's funny what triggers me talking about something personal, because Bhung just brings, it fuels something in me.
What just happened?
No, you already know about this story. I told you guys about my grandma's funeral yesterday. Here's a story for you as we wind down night chat. CJ will get to you in a second.
Okay.
You guys got to hear this. So my grandma's funeral is yesterday, okay? My dad was at the funeral. I don't really have a relationship with my dad. He was pretty much in prison most of my life, in and out, in for a long time. We don't have a relationship. I don't need to get into that. But let's just say my grandma's house has been broken into since her passing. So this woman shows up to my grandma's funeral, who is a woman who lives with my dad. Okay. Clearly on drugs.
Tweaker.
She shows up for a few minutes and then leaves. And then everyone's like, that was kind of weird. Like, one, I know my grandma didn't like her, shouldn't have been there. That's enough. I find out today that during the funeral, caught on Ring camera, she shows up at my grandma's house during my grandma's funeral, goes to my grandma's house down the street, puts like mud over the Ring camera, and broke into the house.
So everyone saw her leave to go literally steal from a dead woman's home.
How low can you get? And by the way, I say Bhung brought that out. It's not, he didn't, hold on, let me just bring it. Hold on. Hey, Bhung, real fast. Hey, Bhung, are you there?
Oh, yeah, I guess, yeah.
Okay, just so you know, the story I was just telling, you brought it out of me, but it wasn't like it's your fault. I just need you to know that.
Oh, okay, no, that's totally fine. No, I want you to know, Deuce, like, I get it. Like, we have a good rapport, we have fun. Like, no worries, man.
Okay,
I'm just having a good time.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, go to hell. All right, so anyway, how low can you get?
No, it makes me so like, you guys, low. There's so many more stories that like are just not even appropriate for the stream, but Deuce has many.
Sarge, how do you know if it was her if the camera was covered with mud? Because you could see her
covered it
with mud. Yeah,
because she's tweaking and she thought she was like being sly by covering it.
It's just so sad. It is so sad. I'm like, how low can you get?
Yeah.
Man.
No,
anyway.
it's you've got an interesting. I'm just really glad that you disconnected yourself with some bad humans over there.
CJ. What's up, CJ?
Yo, honestly don't know how to follow that up. That was heavy, man.
I just figured I've been very open about this whole process, and I had that story I found out today, and then Bhung, was firing me up, and then I realized, oh, you know what fired me up earlier? That's how I got there, just so you know. He fired me up in a fun way, and then that fuel went, oh, I remember what I was really fired up about today. That's how I got there.
It's okay, bro. This is a safe space. We could be your therapist if you need it, bro.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I need one.
Yeah, for sure.
What a piece of shit, though.
Yeah, I know.
For
I know.
real. But hey, CJ, but what'd you like about the win?
What I liked about the win, honestly, I like how since the Pacers game we've been clamping up, and that's how we've been getting our W's mainly. I think Mo, you kind of touched on it earlier, how Fox has been looking different, whether it be like muscle soreness or the bug or whatever the case may be. But I just thought it's interesting how he hasn't been, even though he has like one of the highest percentages at the rim, he hasn't been attacking the rim as much. And I feel like a part of that is because he hasn't been getting calls, which kind of manifested itself tonight in that tech. Speaking of the tech, though, I thought it was funny how after the last call I had, like Mike Brown literally got a tech the next game. So I don't know if I'm like I can see the future or anything like that, but
it's definitely you.
I also said we might be a top 2015 defense, and we don't need a rim protector. So I'm not trying to take credit for our success so far, but I just want to say that.
Yeah, no, I mean, you shouldn't take any credit for it, but yeah, I will give you credit thinking like, hey, that was a good goal. Wait, didn't you say something crazy too? What was your other prediction about the team?
That we make the playoffs.
Okay, that wasn't that crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, it's been really fun to see the defense improve, like you say. And I just hope for Fox's sake that maybe the next few days can help get him back. The reality too is if he was dealing with some nasty bug, like I think there are a lot of people who can relate to that right now. It's been going around.
Yeah.
And it sucks when you have to go to work or do work at home. Like, one, you shouldn't be going to work sick. I get all that. But if you're like trying to recover from a bug and you're like, oh, I have to go to work today. Imagine having to go play a basketball game where you're trying to do like physical. Like, who wants to work out when they just getting over a bug or have a bug? No one wants to work out.
It takes a physical toll on you. And sometimes a mental toll on you as well.
So hopefully, next week he's feeling a little refreshed. I thought that he had more good moments tonight. It still wasn't the same, but he did attack a little more. And yeah, I think he'll be all right.
For sure. Before I go, I also wanted to say I do want to see more Davion and Fox minutes together, because I feel like Mitchell brings out more of a dog from Fox too, and that's like a nasty backcourt. And also one thing I wanted to ask you guys was, we're looking really good right now. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but I honestly don't know what trades we can make when the deadline comes up, because like our chemistry is looking so good right now.
Yeah.
At first I wanted HB to go, but I mean, I would like to publicly apologize to him because he's been balling out. So
yeah.
And Harrison's been known to listen. We've seen him in the Twitter Spaces before when we've been on.
I'm sure he's saying, I accept your apology.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where the Kings are at around that time, because this front office has shown the ability to be aggressive, and they've also been pretty bold when you trade Tyrese Halliburton like they did, right? And get Sabonis. So I'm with you, CJ. You have to be careful because, one, in-season trades shake up a locker room, especially one that has great vibes right now. And then in addition to that, that player has to try to fit in not only with the locker room, but with the style of play and learn things. It's not always as smooth as we think, right? Especially if it's like a really big move. Now, if it's more of a move on the fringes,
sometimes it's a move just even for like what they want the future to be like, right? Like some guys' stock are high and you're going to just have to change things up. And maybe it's because of where you are in the season, where your win-loss column is, and you're willing to do those type of things. But yeah, we'll just have to see. Yeah,
and I'm glad you said something about HB, because I look at what he provides this team and how many times this season where maybe the Kings are out of kind of their offensive rhythm, and he's like, okay, give me the ball and let me attack and get to the free throw line, or let me get a bucket. I think Barnes has been great this year, and I think he's starting to settle into this role of, hey, I don't need to be the guy that's like the leading scorer or the second leading scorer. I could be the guy that's benefiting from playing with Sabonis and just get mine kind of in the flow of the offense. There is so much less pressure on him offensively. And now even like defensively, with how the Kings are scheming things, the team defense has been really good. I think it's taken a lot of pressure off of him.
For sure. And like, I mean, you definitely said it, like he has a very steadying presence, and say we do make the playoffs, we're definitely going to need that, because we have a lot of fiery young guys. But I feel like sometimes if we don't have that, like we've kind of seen it in the Memphis game, we can kind of implode. So I love what HB brings, and I honestly cannot see us trading him right now. So yeah, I'm curious to see what happens.
All right, CJ, thanks for checking in, man.
All right, y'all, take care.
Appreciate it. That was kind of mean of me to like go to CJ right after I told that story.
I know. He's like, I'm so sorry that she's a piece of shit, and so is your dad. God, and I'm really sorry. I know like we laugh about these things and everything, but like I think sometimes when you really think about it, just the heaviness of it, I'm really sorry that you've had piece of shit.
Morgan, this has been my
leadership and parents in your life. That just sucks.
Sometimes you laugh so you don't cry, right?
I know.
And also, like, to be completely transparent, I am going to go to therapy at some point to kind of address some of these things.
Dude, get the right tools.
Yeah, exactly. Because it is important. My life was a little chaotic growing up, and I've been able to get through it, but it doesn't mean that I'm not impacted by things that have happened. So I'm going to work on that.
Yeah.
You know what helps though?
What?
The Kings are. I gotta be honest. The Kings winning it's helped me a little bit.
No, it really.
I mean, if the Kings were bad like last year and all this stuff was going on,
No, it honestly. Thank you, Kings, and thank you, Kings community, NBA community. It's really just made life a lot better during some of these tough times.
Also, the chat bringing up maybe trade for Kevin Durant.
Yeah. What would that look like? No way.
Bad News Sour Grapes with a $50 or $5 donation. Hey, Deuce, should we resign Barnes for a hometown discount? We'll see. I mean, I think, yeah, I resign Barnes at the right price for sure. We'll see. It's a long time from now. Kenneth donates $50, not for jacket money, he says. Okay, I appreciate that.
Thanks, you guys.
Appreciate you guys being here so much. Make sure to spread the word. The other thing I want to encourage you guys to do, if you listen on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, drop us a review. That helps us grow. If you watch us on YouTube, subscribe, hit the thumbs up, spread the word about us. Let people know we go live after games. We're going to be doing a ton of NBA content. We love you guys so much, but we got to go.
You all are so badass for being here. Have a wonderful rest of your night. See ya.
Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. They tell you what they know. Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. The podcast that you know.